All right, here we go. This is
the Handbag Husband.
The Handbag Husband. Yay! So today we are in the beautiful city of Bangkok in this old historic center at some of this amazing temple. What's the name of this temple?
The Emerald Buddha.
Man, if you all ever out here, you should definitely check it out. It's just dazzling. But the next thing that should be equally as dazzling, hopefully, is the fact that we are going to be doing a fair amount of visits to some of the Hermès boutiques here in Bangkok. So we have a couple different ones. Do you know which ones they are specifically?
Yeah, we're going to go to two stores. We're hoping for 3, but I think realistically probably reaches 2.
Yeah.
The first one is at the Icon Siam department store, and
okay.
It's called Siam Paragon.
Got it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm going to remember those, but we're definitely going to be checking them out and seeing if maybe we can kind of work some of that lucky magic, some of the good fortune that we have donated to here. See if we can actually get some of those bags that we've been looking for that are really hard to get in Europe as well in the United States. Now, obviously, if you like these videos, if you like the content, if you like the Hermes bag milieu and all the bag candy, the Hermes capades, please don't forget to like and subscribe because it does really help the channel to grow. And of course, we are so thankful for that.
Thank you.
But also because it means you can get updates when our newest long videos come out, our short videos come out, and all the stuff we got on Instagram at the Handbag Husband and YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, now let's get down to our Bangkok Hermes capades. We finally made it to the beautiful Icon Siam Mall here in Bangkok, and we're going to do our first Hermes boutique visit. And I will tell you,
Hermes capade.
yeah, I will tell you that already, the experience is different. I mean, these things, the mall here is beautiful. I mean,
massive.
It is
massive
and so clean. You can eat off the garage floor. It is just so amazing. So I have such high hopes for this one. This is one of the biggest Hermes boutiques here in Thailand, especially in Bangkok, where almost all the boutiques are at. It's got multiple stores, it's got multiple levels, and there's no wait so far. So let's see if we can get in there and see what we can talk about and see if we can actually get our hands on maybe quota bag, non-quota bag, some sort of SLG. I'm open to really anything.
Something.
A little something would be great. All right, so we just got done with our boutique visit here at Icon Siam in Bangkok.
It's not a quota bag. And it's not a bag.
Hey, come on, you're gonna ruin the surprise. But it is some pretty actually awesome items. And so we just got done with our visit at the boutique here. And I will tell you that the vibe is very, very different. It feels very different than what we had in what we have in Topanga. It even feels very different than how we feel in Europe as well. I don't know, what did you think?
I think it's good. I think it's expected from Asian countries. I think
Sure,
they have more softer approach comparing to doesn't mean I like it more or I'm not sure, but it's a softer approach than let's get it done. I don't know. You see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. There's a couple really specific things about this boutique, and again, this might be extrapolated to the larger kind of Bangkok milieu, I guess they're escapades.
Sure.
In the sense that I feel like one is that there's not a lot of tourists who are coming to this one. I'm sure there are tourists, but it feels like this boutique is really designed to service the wealthy in Bangkok, unlike FSH where they're the world is coming to FSH.
Everyone.
Or Beverly Hills, where you get lots of tourists and stuff like that. Bangkok feels like it is more geared towards the Bangkokers, right? Bangkokers.
I feel like it's the SSA is about 50-50. So 50% local, 50% tourists.
Yeah, and there's other Southeast Asian people coming to Bangkok.
So that's still considered as tourists.
Yeah. The other thing that I noticed is that when we look at what they have in store, they actually don't have the amazing bags, right? You don't see Himalaicas, Birkins or Kellys.
No Birkin, no Kelly,
no Birkins or Kellys at all.
Nothing.
Yeah. So it seems like really what they have, despite having a really big store, and despite actually getting something, by the way, is they have a lot of practical things that you normally wouldn't find in a boutique because people are staring at, again, the Kellys, the Birkins, the mini Kellys, all that kind of stuff. They don't have any of that, but what they do have is some pretty awesome small leather goods and kind of writing goods, things like that you actually can't find in a lot of places. A lot of places don't carry them because they want to carry, you know, the Constances and the Birkins and the Kellys.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't think we saw any Constances either, right?
There's a Constant wallet, which doesn't really count. Yeah, doesn't count.
But the service was amazing, and the people were super friendly.
But there's no coffee.
And they didn't have coffee. That was, I mean, for me, that is a ding for sure.
Half a point.
Yeah, half a point for sure. I think
because we were still pretty jet lagged.
Yeah. But again, the experience was amazing. The essay was very, very, very nice.
She was trying so hard, try to get the stuff for us. But obviously, they don't really have.
And she pulled out some things that we don't really see on the other side of the ocean.
She offered us Pegasus, the Handbag 50.
Yeah.
What else?
What was the beach bag that she showed us? A bag, I think.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But
we'll put a picture up here of it. But so it was a really interesting bag. And
I know it's popular, but it's just not for me. You know?
Yeah. It's a little too casual for us for bags.
Yeah.
Right. We usually want bags that can go one way or the other.
The clutch Kelly, the small coin purse that I wasn't sure. I kind of like it, but it's
in
too
Chef,
small.
right?
One is in Chef. One is in Madame Casket.
Madame Casket.
The same with the same leather as the my lipstick case. Yeah.
They also had a Rulies, so they basically had all the non-quota bags, Lindy's, Rulies, Kita,
Gigi.
Oh, Gigi's nice in the white.
What else did it have?
They had lots of suitcases.
3 or 4 suitcases.
3 or 4 suitcases, which I thought was kind of strange, but again, I guess it makes sense. And I think that so I think the realization is one that Bangkok is, and this is just my anticipation at this first store, is that it's really going to be designed for people who are primarily from Bangkok who have money, right? They don't want to go outside.
Yeah.
And again, she was very friendly. Oh, she showed us the Kelly belt with the diamonds.
Yes, because I was asking for Kelly belt in exotic. She was like, "Oh, we have one," but then she busts out the blue box.
Yes,
the inside blue box.
Very nice.
We know what's the deal, right? But
it's like one of these kinds of boxes.
Yes, but it's diamond crusted. So I was like, "Oh no, it's too."
I think that we would have been this close to getting it if it didn't have the diamonds on it.
No, yeah.
Because the diamonds are just anxiety.
The black croc and it's matte alligator. It was pretty.
The other thing that's interesting is that there doesn't seem to be as strong of a divider between local and non-local here. Maybe I just can't pick it up because of the language barrier.
Yeah.
Like it could be, right? Those nuances are lost.
It's not bad at all, but there were some, obviously there's a little bit
There's going to be nuances you miss.
For sure.
Yeah. I will admit that a lot of the bags that they had for women here were, actually a lot of the bags in general were neutral colors. So we didn't see lots of green.
I think it's a thing right now currently. Like
natural beauty.
Like gold on gold,
Gold on gold is beautiful and everything. I mean, I don't even consider Birkin in gold on gold.
24 gold on gold. I was looking at that one. Yeah, that one was pretty. Yeah.
I like the Lindy gold on gold better. It's more.
Yeah.
I like that it looks like a loaf of bread with handles on it.
Sure.
So overall, I think the experience is great. I think that it's something that we're going to return back to.
I think it's expected.
It is expected.
I don't think it's over my expectation.
It's a little under because they didn't have the quota bags. I thought they'd at least have some quota bags on display.
Sure.
Right. So that makes me wonder, like, that's probably the reason why I actually believe maybe they don't have a lot of quota bags available.
Yeah.
Because they don't even have anything on display.
Sure.
For a store that's as big as it is, you would think they'd have a lot more kind of auctoritas, right? Like they have a lot more of that.
For sure.
Yeah. So that is our first boutique here in Bangkok. And again, I was not disappointed in the sense that the level of service, the level of politeness, the level of friendliness.
That's why we decided to
buy
amazing,
something,
right?
Yeah, that's exactly why we decided to get something. They don't call it the land of smiles for no reason.
Sure.
But that's the first one. Let's take a look at the second one. The second one we're going to is actually the previously like flagship. No, was it?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, like it was previously or is probably currently or maybe. We'll have to see, but like it's supposed to be the kind of OG one from earlier on. So maybe that one has a lot more legacy.
But
maybe that's where a lot of those bags are.
They already might have like more regular customer already established there, so it might be even more difficult. All right,
so we are here going to our second Hermès Boutique visit here in Bangkok at the Siam Paragon mall, which is going to be pretty cool. The first one was interesting, but not as successful as we thought. This time around, hopefully it's going to work. So here we are on our way. We're going to take a boat to get there. All right, so we are here finally at our second Hermes boutique visit here at the Siam Paragon Mall, which is a completely...
I'm surprised that you remember the name.
Yes, it's actually written right there. But it's a completely different experience than we had at the, what was the other one?
Icon Siam.
At the Icon Siam. But I think that it really opened up our eyes and really kind of changed our perspective about which one is actually the flagship and which one is not the flagship, and which one might actually be more worth building a relationship. But we'll talk about that a little bit more after we get done with our first visit. All right, let's go inside. So we just got done with our second visit here in Bangkok to the Hermès Boutique at the Siam Paragon Boutique at the more, I would say, really well-established mall here in the central part of Bangkok. And man, it was really eye-opening. It was a very different experience than what we had at Icon Siam at the first one. And I think that...
It feels vastly different for me.
Yes, and you got a chance to talk to the SA a little bit more than I did, but overall, I feel like this one is giving us more kind of commitment vibes, right? A little bit more
I guess
like relationship vibes.
A better word is more realistic expectation.
Yes.
That's how I would put it, yeah.
Yeah, then kind of like, well, maybe, I don't know, wishy-washy. So overall, I think one of the things that's first noticeable about actually both of the stores is that they don't really have a lot of the quota bags on display.
Well, this one has a Kelly doll in the front.
Okay, they have the Kelly doll. Okay, fine.
So that's, I'm like, oh, Kelly doll, something to drew on, you know? They have
like,
the body with the wheelie.
Okay, the body with the wheels. Okay, that's true too. I guess I'm not talking about the front display. I'm talking about like internally. All they have is, they have picotins, they have in the loops, they have 24 Lindy's. And interestingly enough, they're in kind of like block colors. So just like basic like kindergarten colors like green, blue, yellow, gray as well. But a lot of just like those kind of block colors. So I think that was something that we thought would be in line with the last Bangkok boutique that we went to, which is kind of like, they just have lower tier bags on display inside the store.
Sure.
Save the ones on the outside that obviously the dolls are super hard to get. And the boulder with the wheels, I like those. I really like those.
It's also hard to get.
It is also hard to get. So we got a chance to really feel out our SA, and right off the bat, basically everything we asked for was shot down.
It's not shut down. They don't have any. I think she tried, but it's just like, I feel like she was explaining that the stuff that sell here, it might not be the same in the US, like what we are looking for and the Thai people they're looking for are vastly different. So they don't buy it in at all, into the store at all. So
because of course we went through our regular kind of list of things that we're looking for. Obviously some of the large quota bags, which we know are always going to be no, but also, some of the smaller leather goods, some of the wallets, some of the charms, some of the other stuff that we always ask for, and all of them were basically shot down because she's like, look, those are not things that Thai people generally ask for.
Correct.
So they don't order. They don't have them on hand. But there are some things that I think actually are separate that I thought was really a surprise to us, which we'll talk about here in a second. But in general, just like the first impressions, talking to her, she was friendly and she was polite, but she's like, look, the things you're looking for, we don't get them here in Thailand. They're just Thai people, and also
they
some
don't
of the
like
tourists.
box leather, they don't like Burinia because it's like the patina. Like, what's it called? Patina? What's it called? The like when the color fade.
Yeah, they don't like having the patina on there, or they want it to be pristine.
Yeah, they love Ipsum.
Oh yeah, that was interesting.
I was
right?
like, ew.
I mean, hey, look, Epsom's nice, right? It comes in. There's a time and a place for an Epsom,
for sure.
But these folks really, that is the go-to leather for a lot of folks here. Also, interesting enough, she had mentioned, and I think we noticed this too, is that there's way more foreigners at this one.
More transient, like stores.
People coming in and coming out.
But as you can see right now, so many people walking by.
Yeah, you can definitely see. But like more like Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Southeast Asians are all coming to this mall, whereas the other one, we really didn't see that diverse of
But again, yesterday was Thursday, today is Friday, so might be. But this this location is way more central. So way more central. So
the Icon Siam is a big, beautiful store. It is a beautiful store. It's got lots of square footage, and it's just it's new and it's exciting. But where all the stuff really happens, I think, happens at this store.
I think so too. Even though it's smaller, I kind of like this one better.
Well, I think this one has more opportunity. So let's get to that. So a couple of the interesting things they said specifically about the quota bags and non-quota bags is that yes, it is possible to establish a relationship here if you are someone who comes and visits a couple times a year, right? So you could have a long distance relationship, but of course you're gonna have to spend some baht. Is that what it's called here?
Thai baht, yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna spend some Thai baht. But if you can do that, I think that they seem open to having a relationship. The other thing that I think is very interesting is that the majority of the people here, the bags they're looking for, the quota bags they're looking for, are minis, mini Kellys, mini Birkins, mini everythings, right?
Yeah, they don't. She was like, because we were like, oh, I like big bags. I was like, 35? We don't get like Kelly 35 in like at all, almost at all. Like maybe once in a while, maybe.
Yeah.
32 is also not often.
Yeah.
28, that's kind of max the size.
Yes, she was given the range, right? Like you basically have mini up to 28.
28.
And that's about where everyone's in that range for the most part. And then it basically stops.
And Kelly, Birkin 30.
Yeah.
35, you're not gonna get it. She basically like she shook her head and like no. But for men, she's like, oh, if you want men,
that's what I'm talking about.
50 or what's the hack? Oh, and the Kelly Voyage. She was like, that one might be able to get. She was like, oh, because we want for our men's clientele.
Yes. And that was my ears were like, oh,
I know.
And
the hack 50 might be able to get it easier than the mini Kelly.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we finally made it back to our hotel, and boy, it's so hot. We got a chance to rinse off and kind of relax and cool off a little bit, and also think about kind of the overall Bangkok Hermès boutique experience, because we went to two of them, and I think there's another one, right?
Yeah, there's a third one in Bangkok, not counting the airport, but yeah, there's another one. I think it's called like Embassy Store or something. Yeah.
But it's just so, the weather is so brutal right now. We just couldn't make it. But so we did get a chance to go to the Icon Siam one, and ironically, kind of right across the river, the Siam Paragon Hermès Boutique. And both of them are really interesting, kind of two sides of the coins of what you can get here in Bangkok. But kind of overall, just to sum it up and kind of like talk about both the stores, Icon Siam is the new store. It's shiny, it's big, it's quite big.
It's two-story, yeah.
It's 2 stories, so it feels like a flagship, but it's actually not a flagship.
I don't think there's any flagship. I don't think anyone. Because I'm trying to ask, like, hey, which store is a flagship?
Yeah, it could be the third one we didn't go to.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, so Icon Siam is very neat. It's very new. Everything's clean and orderly, and I don't think it's as busy, maybe as
it feels airier.
Yeah, it feels airier, right? And it's just a newer building, right? So it feels nice and shiny and new. And then on the other side, the kind of older store, the more established store, I think is probably the better way of saying it, is the Siam Paragon, which we went to today, and the experience was pretty different. It was a pretty different experience overall. Primarily Icon Siam being new. Siam Paragon is, like I said, more established, right? So it's not really a pretty store. It looks kind of old. It looks
very small. I thought the store would be bigger.
Yeah, it's much smaller. But the thing is that the looks aren't everything, especially when it comes to boutiques with Hermes, because that's really where, at least we got the feel, that a lot of the actual wheeling and dealing for Hermes, the actual bringing the bags into to Thailand, actually probably happens at that store much more than the other store, the Icon Siam store.
And it could be because they have already long established clientele at that store.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about how Bangkok in general, the Hermes feel is different, the shopping experience is different than what we experienced in Europe and in the United States. I don't know, what do you think is the biggest difference in your head?
They are way more, I don't want to say polite, but a nice, soft approach. Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the expectation of customer service, the hospitalityness.
But they don't have coffee.
Yes, they don't have coffee.
I found that very odd.
Yeah. Maybe they don't drink a lot of coffee here.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's just like basically like standard Avian water. Yeah.
So the essays are much more demure, I think is the word. They're much politer, but they're also more soft-spoken. They're not, it's almost not like the negotiating style is very different. It's not like a one-on-one kind of combative kind of feel like a give and take.
Yeah.
It's more of a, let's kind of like move around things, and they're always very evasive, and they're very good at it here of kind of dodging those hard questions like, how do I get a Kelly bag? How do I get a Birkin? How do I get a Constance?
Not the second store though. Put it this way. I feel it's polite and distant, but like in the US, they're polite and friendly. Does it make sense?
Yes, that's very good.
I think that's the difference.
Looking over the expectations that we had for Bangkok, I think that it kind of met our expectations, right?
I think so. It's right at to me, like mine.
Yeah.
Because when I say that I don't have any expectation,
there was only a few surprises. Actually, just like 2 surprises. And primarily just, it is what we thought. We thought it was going to be a local serving the local wealthy people here in Bangkok. We thought that they probably wouldn't have lots of quota bags. And the big surprise primarily is that their locals only policy versus non-locals doesn't seem as strong as it does in Europe, right? It doesn't seem like they're only reserving bags for locals first and then non-locals can kick rocks.
Sure.
But it does seem like you need to establish a relationship, whether you're local or not, and like develop that and put money into it.
Sure.
and keep it rolling. So that was the first big surprise. I thought they'd think, you know what, you're not from Bangkok, get out of here, right?
Yeah.
I thought they'd just be like, no. Second of all is and probably a bigger issue, is that the type of bags and the types of Hermes goods that they have here are very different than the Western palette, right?
Yes.
Like for example, obviously, maybe not obvious, but sort of obvious, is that all the rage here is the mini bags, right? Mini Kellys, mini Birkins, mini Bolins, right?
25.
Yeah, oldie.
We saw lots of mini Lindy here.
Yeah, we didn't see any Evelyns. No one's carrying Evelyns around.
Which is interesting. I thought there would be lots of Evelyn here. Yeah.
So they really love the small bags. For example, basically a mini Kelly up to like 28 size is sort of the range that we learned is what they normally order, and they order those and they sell those all day long. But what they don't really do is once you get over that 28, so if you're looking for like a Birkin 35, good luck. It's not because they don't have them, it's because
they don't have them.
I mean, yeah, it's because they don't order them. They don't order them. There's none in the country, right?
Exactly.
Because nobody is buying them.
Because no one wants them.
Yeah, no one wants them. But the thing is that gap, that size gap, actually is kind of nice in our favor because the big bags, if you're looking for a Kelly Voyage, if you're looking for a Birkin 50 or something like that, then they do actually, the Hackado, or the Hack, just the normal HAC, Hoot Akuro, or whatever, the high belt, they do get those because they can sell those to some of the men, Hermès Handbag Husbands, who are out there. So I thought that was very interesting that one, they have lots of small bags. 2, lots of the small leather goods. Basically everything on our list that we usually ask, they're like, no, we don't even see those here in Bangkok. Like,
because people
don't buy them.
They don't buy it.
Yeah, people don't buy them. Yeah. And so they're very.
They don't like box.
Yeah, they don't like box leather.
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, they don't like box leather. And Epsom is a big hit here. They're like, we can't keep Epsom in stock. People just love Epsom.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, hey, you know what? Whatever floats your boat. So. So I think that was interesting, and that was one thing that's kind of outside of our expectation of just being kind of a regionalized Hermes experience. So that is going to be the end of the first half of our Asia Hermes capades, because that's the last stores that we're going to go to Bangkok, but we actually have another half. So
we still have the airport stores.
Okay, we have the airport stores, but those are their own little creatures, I think. But we are going to go to Hong Kong, right? And Hong Kong, I think, is going to be a very different experience. Way more competitive. There are people from around the world coming to Hong Kong and coming to Hermes, right? So it's not just local Southeast Asia. You got China, you got Australians, you got Britons, UKians, British, Canadians, Americans. You're going to have the whole world coming down to Hong Kong, and they're happy to serve, but it also means there's going to be lots of competition. But my hope is that it might be a little more transactional. We'll get to that when we get to Hong Kong, but overall, I think that Bangkok was a great experience, and if you are someone who frequents here, there is a lot of great Hermes options for you. But if you're just coming just for Hermes, I would say there's probably some better options for you.
Maybe try Phuket store down south, because I feel like that's filled with tourists.
Yeah.
It might be more open with whatever.
That's true.
So basically the same with Capri. It's the same with like
Cinque Terre or whatever that one is. Is that Capri?
Capri, yeah. I think,
All right, so that is it for our Bangkok store reviews. And we got some more Bangkok kind of stuff coming out, which I think you all are going to find very interesting. But if you like the Hermes conversation, right? If you like the bag candy, we're going to have some really cute, like interesting bag candies, like Kelly dolls and those kinds of things, those kind of weird ones. Not weird ones, but different odd ones a little bit. But if you like the general Hermes milieu, please don't forget to like and subscribe because it does really help the channel to grow, and we are so thankful for that.
Thank you.
But also because it means you get notified when our newest content comes out on the Instagram, on the YouTube, at the Handbag Husband. We got new content coming out every single week. And if you want to check it out, don't want to miss it, don't forget to like and subscribe. So for the Handbag Husband from Thailand, thank you and goodbye.